everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm Kristen, and this is episode 94. It's Sunday evening, December 8th, 2013, and yeah, honestly, it feels like I have not gotten much accomplished knitting-wise this week, but I was writing the show notes out, and yes, I have gotten a lot done this week. So I have a show to do. So that's great. But yeah, first order of business, the Cascadia digital pattern book giveaway, and we had 62 entries. So full disclosure, I random generated a number prior to this, but for some reason the show was not recording, so I want to just go with the original number so I don't have to redo it because I don't think that's fair. So number 22 popped up on the random number generator. Randomgenerator.org. Random.org. And from 1 to 62, number 22 popped up, and that was Bangers and Mash, who I've actually met in real life. So I just want to say, hey, congratulations. And actually, let me read her entry. Because the entry was to enter the giveaway, you had to name your favorite holiday dish. So hers was my favorite Christmas dish is a little unusual. Every Christmas morning, my grandmother would make a traditional Irish breakfast for an incredibly large family. This includes her 6 children, their spouses, and the hordes of grandchildren and great-grandchildren. It works out to be a breakfast for about 20 people. My grandparents have become snowbirds, and the past few years, and have no longer come back up to New York for Christmas. But her daughter, my aunt, has kept the tradition of an Irish breakfast going. Bright and early on Christmas morning, you will find us guzzling down piping hot cups of tea alongside black and white blood puddings, fried tomatoes, rashers, Irish sausages, and eggs. There's unusually an appearance of some French toast and outrageously delicious rolls from the bakery. The lot of us look forward to getting together for this breakfast every single year. So that sounds amazing, and I may have to crash that breakfast. I hope you don't mind. I actually do love blood pudding myself. I went to Ireland like eons ago, but I guzzle down my share of blood pudding. The stuff is outrageous. It is really good. But yeah, thanks so much for sharing Bangers and Mash. And I will actually notify Cooperative Press to send along a digital copy of Cascadia. So yay! And thanks to everybody for entering. I loved reading through all your favorite holiday dishes as well. And I may have to insert some of them because I'm throwing a holiday party next weekend, and some of them look pretty good, So I may. I'm trying to think who was it? Spritz cookies. Yes, Andrea MCF. I loved reading that one because Spritz cookies are actually one of my favorite holiday treats, if you will. My grandmother, she still, well, now she can't, unfortunately, but I mean, every holiday she would whip up huge batches of these Spritzgebacken cookies, which are usually in the shapes of O's and S's, and you can either eat them as such or dip them in chocolate, and they're so good. They're basically just butter cookies with maybe sometimes walnut in them, but they're so good. So yeah, I loved reading that entry as well. But yeah, let me see, show notes. But yeah, that's all I have as far as, intro notes go. Let's move on to what's off the needles. Okay, I actually have not a finished object, but half a finished object this week. If you remember, last week I showed you my experimental hand dye. I don't know why I call it experimental. It's really just my hand dyed yarn that I dyed up a couple weeks ago, and I have a finished sock, so I am very happy with it. I'm excited. And I actually finished it. Before recording, I had a Google Hangout with Maria from the Subway Knits podcast and Laura from the Dyer's Notebook. And I highly recommend, if you haven't tried a Google Hangout before, they are awesome. You can talk to friends near and far, whenever. And they're fun. So, and I got to finish a sock, a work in progress. So this is my... Wow, the camera is really blowing it up, but no, I guess this is pretty much the color. Just a plain random scrappy yarn, vanilla sock that I knit up using my hand dyed, and I'm very happy with it. I'm psyched. I'm stoked, guys. So I really need to cast on the next sock before this so I can avoid second sock syndrome, because I just don't let that happen anymore, or at least I try not to. So that's what's going on the needles right after I'm done recording. But yeah, I'm so psyched about this. Yay! So, and unfortunately, that is what I have off the needles this week. Sorry, guys, nothing stupendous, but I was going through my, because we're taking out all our winter coats now, and I was looking for my winter hat, which I love. I don't know, you probably remember this, but this is my Kirsten Kapoor Sophie's hat that this is the third year that I will be wearing this every day. So I found it. I was having trouble finding it, but in the process of looking for it, I stumbled across a bunch of other hats that was stashed in our winter accessory drawer in the closet. So I thought I'd kind of show you, since I believe I was knitting these things while I was doing the audio podcast. So I do a little show and tell. Dennis has actually been wearing this hat a lot. He has like 3 hats now, 3 or 4 hats that he wears on and off. And this is the Jared Flood Turn a Square hat that I knit for him, which he loves, he wears, and it's getting a lot of love. So easy pattern. I think it's free. I believe it's free. It's super easy. So that's one. The next one is, I knit this before the Turn a Square. This is also a Jared Flood hat. Why am I blanking on this pattern? But, this is going to destroy me if I don't figure out why I can't. Hang on. Projects. I'm on the Ravelry, guys. Let's see. I did this a while back. Oh, the Habitat hat. Duh. Okay, this is Habitat by Jared Flood. It is a paid pattern. I believe it's like $6.50 US, but lots of lovely cables. I almost want to knit another one for myself because look at it. It's cablelicious. So, but yeah, Dennis is getting a lot of wear out of this, and I borrow it sometimes. So yes, I shamelessly borrow it. And this is the knee peed that I knit a long time ago. The pattern is by Kate Davies. The yarn is Knit Picks in their palette colorway. But I knit it twice. I gave the first one I knit to my niece, Juliana, because it was pink, it was green, not really so much my color, but then I knit up my own, and I love it. I mean, I should wear it more often. I don't know. I wore it to Rhinebeck 3 years ago, and many people came up to me wanting to pet my head. And my bangs are doing crazy things right now. Okay. But yeah. I could just wear the rest of the episode if you guys want. I don't know. Maybe I will. My head's cold. And my bangs are doing crazy things right now. So I should wear this more often. I just found it and I'm just like, I missed you. So yay. So yeah, I did a lot of FO diving in the winter accessories bin, and yeah, so some finished objects to show you guys. So interesting. But on to what's still on the needles. So still on the needles this week is my Raven's Nest shawl by Judy Marples. I didn't make a huge dent in this. I mean, if you recall last week, I basically said that I was done knitting all the lace repeats and I just had to knit maybe 5 more or 10 more rows of the lace repeat before I bound off. Well, I'm done with those last 5 rows, and now it's more or less like 3 more rows before I actually do the cast off. So I'm very close to being done. So yeah, and the yarn is Julie Spins from Etsy. In the Fjord colorway. It's merino cashmere nylon fingering. So lovely, lovely. Cannot wait to cast this off and finally wear it. It's gonna look lovely. So I'm excited about that. And the yarn is so soft. As I mention every week, I just love how squishy it is, and just such a great just a great yarn to knit with. So I'm excited about that. And as I mentioned also, this is how much yarn I have left. And it shrinks and shrinks with each row. I've literally reached the epitome of the black hole of knitting, where it's like, when's this row gonna end? type of thing. So, and it really didn't help that I woke up at like 9:30 today. Usually on the weekends, I wake up at like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I have like a nice block of like 2 to 3 hours of knitting time to myself, where, no distractions. I can catch up on podcasts. But this week, I just slept in shamelessly. So I got a couple rows in this morning, which I'm grateful for because I really want to get this done. Not that it's a very enjoyable knit. It's just I've been working on it for like 5 weeks now, and I want a shawl. I want a new shawl, and it's such a great pattern. So yeah, and also because it was getting colder, I thought it time to knit myself a new pair of mittens. Not that I have a pair of Malabrigos that I wear. Actually, hang on a second. So these are the Malabrigo mittens that I knit last year because it was cold out and I was like, I just want a pair of mittens. Plain basic mittens. I love these. I wear them while I bike to work in the morning and back. Yes, the weather here in New York, in Brooklyn, I should say, well, yeah, New York, has been in the 20s up to the 40s. So I have a 10-block walk usually to the train station from my apartment. So I've kind of spoiled myself with taking my bike during the fall. I was like, I just got tired of the walk. Not that it's not a pleasant one, but the bike cuts my the normal walking time into basically 1/4 of the time it takes me to walk to the train. So I'm just milking the bike route as much as I can. So I've been wearing these and they've been keeping me very warm. But I don't know. I was kind of craving something a little more subdued, or the yarn that I got from Rhinebeck was calling out to me saying knit me. And I basically caked up some cephalopod DK, the Traveler. What did I do with it? Oh my goodness, I had it a second ago and it escapes me. Woe's me. I don't know where it went, but I wrote the show notes down. Here we go. Okay, Cephalopod Traveler DK in Hobart, Indiana. Hobart, Indiana is the colorway, which is totally out of my comfort zone. It's very rainbowy, but like a muted kind of rainbowy, if you will. Just lots of color, and I fell in love with it, so I could not resist getting it at Rhinebeck. So I cast on a pair of, or the idea was to cast on a pair of York mittens, which is a free download, a pattern download, and they were flip tops. And I was like, yeah, I'm totally gonna knit myself a pair of flip tops, but knowing me, I only really need mittens. So I was knitting it halfway and I'm like, no, I just really want these to be a pair of mittens. So I finished one mitten partially. I just have to knit the thumb, clearly. But this is how it knit up on size 5 needles. And here's some scrap yarn holding my thumb in place. Yeah, so I did a Kitchener stitch. But I kind of up until the thumb, up until where you put the scrap yarn for the thumb, I basically improvised with like a basic sock bind off with the Kitchener stitch. So yeah, super simple pattern. I will post a link to the original pattern that I started with. But it looks like I don't know. As far as mittens go, that's where I am. I just wanted a normal basic pair that I can wear. Yeah. So, but yeah, here is where I am with the second mitten. I'm up to the point where I put in the scrap yarn. So yay. And here's my Loopy U stitch marker. After I became an official Loopy groupie, they sent me a stitch marker and it's adorable. I love it. So, and I'm using basic clover circular knitting needles. So nothing fancy, just the yarn's fancy and I'm loving it. So yeah. What else? I think that's all I'm working on as far as knitting goes. I know there's a lot more that I need to tackle at the moment, like my Vivian cardigan. I'll get to it. I'll get to it when I get to it, guys. I'm sorry. I have not had time to, or the energy to tackle that at the moment. I think before Rhinebeck, I just haven't had time or the motivation. But I will get back to it, like I do with most of my projects at some point. Even Star, I ran into that too, and I need to tackle it. I want to finish it. So many things I want to finish. But yeah, on to spinning. I actually have spinning to show you this week, guys. If you recall, I had ordered some gourmet stash in her Game of Thrones themed inspired fibery tribbles, Jon Snow and the Wall. I believe she has other fibery tribbles that are inspired by the series, but I saw this on her Instagram. I fell in love with it, and it had to be mine. So I pre-ordered it. So here's my unraveled fibery tribble that I've been spinning from. Very lovely sparkles, stellina, midnight blues, ice blues, whites, even a hint of purple, I want to say. So I've been spinning on my trindle. Yeah, the trindle has been calling out to me. I don't know why. It just gourmet stash stuff just it calls out to my drop spindles. So I'm trying to get that to focus. But yeah, so it's spinning up lovely, and the fiber quality. Hang on. I want to get the bag. Okay, here it is. So fibery tribbles. Let me get that. She puts such awesome stuff in her triples and her punies. There we go. Super fine merino bamboo, silk, yak, and Angelina. So there's some good stuff in here. And I have, let me see, I think I have another one in here. Yeah. So I have 5 of those to spin through, and so far it's just been a really big pleasure spinning with this. So, but yeah, speaking of drop spindles, I'm actually in the market for another one. So I'm looking. I don't know. I love my trindle. I love it, but I may have gotten the drop spindle bug, and I want to start collecting them. That could be a bad thing. That could be a great thing. I don't know, depending how you look at it. But but yeah, right now I'm having fun with my trindle. So yeah, some purple heart wood there, and yeah, good times. So that's all I have spinning wise. I know last week I showed some stuff on Tallulah, my Lendrum. I haven't had a chance to pull it out and actually spin on it, so but don't worry, I have not forgotten about it. But yeah, on to the next segment. So for Adventures in Hand Dyeing, I have 2 new skeins to show you. Last weekend I got the dyeing bug and I just felt like dyeing more yarn. I had 2 blank skeins left over, so I decided, hey, why not just dye up some stuff? So this is one. Totally unreskeined. I think it's going to look awesome once it's reskeined, but I'm kind of in love with the colorway. It's turquoise, hot pink, and then brown. So I don't know what it is. I'm obsessed with this chestnutty color. I can have a lot, like I think next time I dye up some yarn, I'm going to have a lot more fun with it and see what I can do with it. But I just love the way it breaks up bright colors. It's kind of like that neon neutral combo that everyone's in love with. I know my camera's blowing this out pretty good, but I'm trying to get it. There you go. So it's just, a fun color. I think I'm gonna knit a pair of socks with it or something. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But the next one I'm smitten with. Purples, lavenders, and brown. Again, I'm obsessed with the brown. I think next time I dye something, I'm just gonna stay away from the brown because I feel like I'm incorporating it into every skein that I dye. So, but I really love this colorway. Yeah, so I'm having fun. I'm really having fun with this. And yeah, so that's what I've been dyeing. I've been using Jacquard. There's Jacquard acid dyes. So yeah, I've been wearing the mask, just to keep the dust out of my respiratory system, as you will. And yeah, I've just been having fun. So dyeing it the normal way with I've actually gotten those sponge paintbrushes. I got what do you call it, those plastic containers, and just been mixing colors in it and going to town. I don't really have like a method to my madness other than that. So the more you know. On to the next segment. Because you asked. Okay, this is a new segment, so many of you are very excited about it, so I'm happy to indulge that. But the first question is project goals and personal goals for 2014. If you decide to share this, maybe we can start a thread for everyone to share. I actually touched on this subject a couple of episodes ago. My knitting goals for next year is to start partaking in a lot of the knitting events that occur throughout the year, such as Nanny Swimo, the Ravelanic Games, and Tour de Fleece. Normally, I just I forget that they're happening, and I don't, once they've already begun, I just say to hell with it, and I just don't partake in it, but I regret it dearly because it looks like so much fun, and I really want to start doing that more. So that's definitely a goal. Personal, I'm not really sure, but I will definitely keep you posted, hopefully before the next year. But I don't know, personal, like I try not to make resolutions. Every time I try to make in the past, whenever I've tried to make a personal resolution for the new year, I don't know, I just never stick to it because I know myself, and maybe try to do an aerobic activity. I don't know, because I need to do more cardio. So maybe I will be doing more cardio. I don't know. So, but yeah, as far as knitting though, otherwise, I'm just I think that's it. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. I will definitely keep you updated if any more pop into my head throughout the week. The next question is, I would like to know if you are going to be dyeing more yarn. Yes, I will be dyeing more yarn. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I actually put it in another order for bear yarn to have more fun with. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, thanks so much for all your questions. Keep them coming. Happy to answer. Yeah, so that said, I believe that is the show. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone is having fun. A fun holiday season, getting to spend a lot of time with your family, friends, what have you, getting all your holiday knitting done. Time is tight, so knit faster. That's all I'm good. That's what I'll leave you with. Knit faster. But anyway, have a great week, everybody, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.